Hi, little bolts. So you've heard the story of the substitute groundhog, and in that story, groundhog was sick, and he needed to find somebody else to deliver or to take care of Groundhog Day. This week, you're going to be writing a story about the Easter Bunny, and the Easter Bunny is sick, and we need to figure out who he's going to get to deliver the eggs. So I'm going to show you how to use a graphic organizer. It looks similar to the ones we've used earlier this year to organize your information. So we learned that every story has to have an introduction. In this story, it's going to be that the Easter Bunny is sick, and we need to figure out who he's going to get to deliver the treats. We need a beginning, a middle, and an end. Well, if you think back to the substitute groundhog, in the beginning, Groundhog was sick, and he needed to find a substitute. So he asked more than 3 people, but I'm going to tell you about some of them. The first person he asked was Mole, and Mole applied for the job. Okay. Then I need to have some details. Okay, it wasn't just that Mole applied. Mole went in the hole, Mole came out of the hole, Mole couldn't see anything, so Mole wouldn't work. So then Groundhog had to go on to another character, and he tried a couple different characters in the middle of the story, but I'm going to talk about Bear. In the middle of the story, Bear applied. Groundhog asked him to go into the hole. It wasn't just that he applied. Bear went in the hole, but then Bear fell asleep. So Groundhog knew he wasn't going to work either. And he tries some other characters, but then at the end of the story, Armadillo applies. So then he had to have some details. The author had to have some details about that. Groundhog wasn't sure he wanted Armadillo. He didn't know anything about an armadillo, but he tried anyway. Armadillo went in the hole. Armadillo came back up and looked around. So Groundhog hired her. And then every story has to have a conclusion. So at the conclusion of the story of Groundhog, the substitute groundhog, Groundhog went home to get better. Armadillo went into the hole and came back up to tell everyone that there were 6 more weeks of winter. Okay. So this is how that author for the substitute groundhog organized the information. Okay. And what we're asking you to do today is to organize the information on yours. Okay? You have a form that we've shared for you that looks like this. And at the top, we've written down the introduction, that the Easter Bunny is sick. Who will he ask to bring the treats now? It's your job to think of 3 people or 3 characters, maybe they're animals, that the Easter Bunny is going to ask to do his job. Okay. You want your first 2 characters probably to not work out, and make your 3rd character be the one that's going to take care of Easter for the Easter Bunny. Okay. When the first person or first character tries, you need to tell me what's going to happen. When the second character applies, you need to tell me what's going to happen. And when the 3rd character applies, you need to tell me what's going to happen. And then you also need to tell me, how does the story end? Okay? So you're planning out just like this author did for the substitute groundhog. Okay? So that you can write about the substitute Easter Bunny. Let me know if you have any questions. I'm here to help. Can't wait to hear all your fun stories. Have fun. Get writing. Bye.